Now in studio with myself is our Erik Bay, and he's here to talk a little bit about the MLB and all the controversy that's been going on. Erik, really just take us back, all the way back, I guess, to the beginning of it all.
Yeah, well, I guess if we're going all the way back, it goes back to 2017 with the Astros winning that World Series. And it just recently came to light there that they were stealing signs, and now sign stealing has been a part of the game forever. But this takes it beyond, having a guy at second base there and goes right into using technology nowadays that's available. And so they were caught using that not only during the regular season 2017, but all throughout the playoffs when they did win. And not just them, now the Red Sox also were caught using it regular season 2018. So tons of stuff happening in the MLB that they are taking a look at right now with those teams.
Now, Erik, how is this going to impact, I guess, the future of baseball? We've seen managers being fired, with Beltran not even managing a game yet and now being fired from the New York Mets. So how's this, do you think it's just going to keep spiraling and keep affecting baseball there?
Yeah, well, I think it really depends what you're kind of looking at there and how much this does take into account, because the problem is now is that this is proven that it's actually helped teams win. Obviously, World Series champs 2017 Astros, Red Sox didn't use it in the playoffs, but 2018 champs. So it's all going to be about weighing, what the risk reward is. Is it worth winning a championship but being caught? And then, obviously they've only punished the people in the front office. Obviously, general manager's gone, but the players haven't had anything. So again, it's what does it take to win, especially in a sport where those managers are hired to be fired pretty much.
Now, you mentioned that it's the manager and the general manager that have been fired. Do you think that's enough just or I guess they had a 1-year suspension on top of that. But do you think that's enough? Do you think that's harsh enough penalty for what happened? Yeah,
straight from the MLB, that 1-year suspension, then obviously loss of draft picks and a big fine for the owner, which obviously wasn't good for him. But, I don't know. I think obviously there's something you have to do for the players themselves, because, it obviously goes back to the players and they were willing and participated in it. And I know people are calling for the World Series to be vacated. I'm not sure I'm a big a fan of that. That's more of an NCAA thing, vacating championships and wins. So I do think, though, there is still a little bit that they do maybe need to do and take into account to keep this from happening. And again, having that continue to permeate baseball for years to come.
Now, finally on the MLB topic, do you think, someone like Pete Rose being out of Hall of Fame for forever, or some of the people who've juiced in the past, do you think, which do you think's worse in this scenario?
Yeah, for sure. I know I've seen on Twitter players have come out and say they'd rather face a guy on steroids rather than knowing each pitch. And obviously it's hard, you can be as juiced up as you want, but you still have to be able to hit that curve, hit that fastball. So I do think this is more serious than that. And obviously Pete Rose, I would say, would be more serious if it was just the fact that he was betting on his team to lose, which he didn't. So I do think this is very serious, again, because, people will know what is coming up and be able to prepare for that. And you could see it being very tough on pitchers and defenses in the MLB for years to come.
Well, in other news in pro sports, possibly the biggest event for a while and for sure of this weekend was the Conor McGregor fight. And for myself, I didn't actually watch the fight, but I got to see the whole thing on Twitter with it only being 40 seconds long.
Yeah, pretty quick, and obviously you weren't too sure what Conor McGregor would do. It's been about a year since he has fought, lost to Khabib, was boxing before that, so really kind of 3 years before he's really been fighting. So obviously it was a great time to come back, took on Cowboy, 40 seconds like you say, and I think really being in that welterweight division suits him a little more. He's kind of a taller guy, so staying at his more normal weight rather than dropping down so much I think has really helped him here coming up.
Well, he got a huge win on the weekend, and there's some other sports and other teams that are also going to be looking for huge wins. And with that, we'll throw it over to our Abby St. John with the last minute of play.
Thanks, guys. After an explosive comeback win by the Chiefs last weekend against the Texans, the Chiefs faced the Titans, who dethroned the Patriots dynasty and took down Lamar Jackson and the Ravens. The Chiefs trailed in the first half until quarterback Patrick Mahomes ran through 4 defenders down the sideline for a 27-yard touchdown, putting them in the lead. From there, it was uphill for the Chiefs as they outran the Titans and star running back Derrick Henry to win 35-24 and advance to the Super Bowl for the first time since 1970. Coming off a big win, the 49ers hosted the Packers. However, it didn't seem like the Packers were there as they went scoreless in the first half and lost the ball a couple of times due to fumbles. Trailing by 27, the Packers finally met the end zone in the last half of the third. Unfortunately, they were no match for the 49ers as veteran cornerback Richard Sherman sealed a 37-20 win with an interception in the last 2 minutes of the game, sending them to the 54th Super Bowl. The Super Bowl will be taking place February 2nd in Miami. My prediction is a Chiefs 45-37 victory for your last minute of the play.